The Monday Mornings podcast is presented by Southern Michigan Bank and Trust. You can open a new account online in minutes. Visit smb-t.com.
Welcome inside the Monday Mornings podcast. Andy Hawley and Jennifer Scanlon. We want to thank Southern Michigan Bank and Trust, ready for better banking. Switch today. Thank you to SMBT and all the fine folks at SMBT.
I've enjoyed the change to SMBT. It's been huge for my business.
They have at one of their branches, they have an electric car charging station.
Oh, yes.
I don't have an electric car, but if I did, I would do that.
Somebody's always there charging. They also have a great candy selection.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Go in for a snack and say hi.
Interesting. So what do we got going today?
I'm so excited. So somebody that is near and dear to me and has inspired me since he was a kid coming up on his jet ski with a 2-gallon of milk.
I wonder how you guys met.
Carl Evanson is the proud owner and community leader and father and all the things from A+ Electric over in Clark Lake, Michigan. Welcome, Carl.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Do you remember coming up on the jet ski with that 2-gallon thing of milk?
That was in the 80s. That's when life was easy.
Were you delivering milk?
I forget why I would have had it. Probably went to the grocery store. There was one at the end of the lake, and I just kind of came up and rode off.
So you grew up on the lake?
Grew up on Clark Lake-ish and Parma, so in between the winters and the summers.
Okay.
And I've known Jennifer most of my life.
Yeah. What was early childhood like for you?
Typical 80s. Riding bikes, riding jet skis, swimming, very low, no tech. I actually just bought my son a tape cassette.
Really?
So I'm trying to send him back to the 80s because this technology stage is very interesting.
Was Thomas open to that, or was he like, what
Loves
the hell?
it. He has an FM radio. He didn't know what FM was. Yeah, that's his first. He is dialing in radio stations, and he thinks it is amazing. So
nice.
I'm kind of trying to do some of the things that I had in my childhood.
Do your kids understand like what our childhoods were like?
Zero.
Nothing.
Do you ever just kick them outside and say, don't come back until dark?
Yes, please leave.
Yeah.
And they're like, take your phone.
Yeah.
I was like, don't take your phone.
Yeah.
They're addicted to
I'm
that.
trying to keep them off that.
It's an impossible battle for a parent, isn't it?
Well, we technically don't have phones.
Okay.
They asked for phones, and I told them no problem. I went to my office. I got 2 phones that don't work, and I handed it to both of them.
Oh, dear.
Really?
And I said, now you have a phone.
Carl's that dad.
They will pull a dead phone out of their pocket and look like they're doing something in front of their friends.
They just want to look cool?
They just need to look cool. And I'm like, I get it. I want to look cool, too. I put this shirt on.
I had a pager that didn't work, and I had that clipped on my belt.
But it looked cool.
Don't you think it would have?
No. I was never turned on by a person that wore a beeper.
Well, I wasn't trying to turn women on. I was trying to look like a
Thug.
drug dealer. So I don't know what I was trying to look like, but I had a pager.
So if my kids get by somewhere there's Wi-Fi and they know the code, the phone will activate to the internet.
Okay.
But then it's few and far between. So 90% of the time it's a camera and a cool-looking device.
So during the 80s, Carl, did you have any idea what you wanted to do with your life?
I didn't. I actually took a job with J.B. Hunt as a logistics transportation manager. When I got done with college, I went to college at Central Michigan University. So finished my college degree, had done some electrical in the summers, and then took this job. And the summer before I left, I told J.B. Hunt, I'm going to stick around home, and then when summer's over, I'm coming. I'm all yours. And I was going to fly down to Arkansas. I ended up sticking around doing construction. Really liked it. Really like working with my hands. Enjoy being around people. Job sites are a lot of fun. I mean, it's a very, we'll say, like college environment at times. So ended up becoming an electrician and an electrical contractor.
Well, I love that because you have the education. You know, they always say get your education as a backup. But you were kind of ahead of your time in that, hey, let's focus on these trades.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lack, there's some security in the future going into that. So how did you go from, all right, this summer I'm working on construction sites to I'm going to start my own firm?
It was a lot of push from my dad to actually stick with the construction because he had said, hey, you can go be a logistics transportation guy and you'll make decent money in Arkansas and you'll be a middle manager, and when they lay off, you'll be one of the rounds of people that get laid off. Mm-hmm. He goes, or do construction. If you have your electrical license and you're to get laid off or let go, at least you'll have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
And so when I did that, a little bit of it probably getting comfortable. Once you get a decent job, you just kind of stay somewhere. And so I just kind of wrote it out. Becoming an electrical contractor, it's a big step.
Yeah.
To go out on your own, knock on doors, that was just a time in my life when I was ready for it. But the trades have been really good, and I've enjoyed being there.
Nice. How many years have you guys been in business?
Shockingly, coming up on 20.
Wow.
So, yes, I just saw it pop up on the calendar. So it may be in the next 2 months that our anniversary hits. Our website says 15, so it shows you when I updated that.
Well, let's get your website updated and get a party scheduled to celebrate your 20 years.
Sure.
You and I had a great friend in common in Annie Swain.
Yes.
And I always loved when she would talk about the early days. She was a part of your early on, and she used to come to your house and do books, didn't she?
So Anne Swain actually worked with my father.
Okay.
Way back in the day when he did gas station type stuff. And then I lived down the road from her. She decided, her and I had talked, and I said, hey, I just need someone to help me file papers. And I got them laying all over my office. Could you just pick them up? So she'd walk down the street, and she would come in, and she'd help file papers. Well, my office was in my closet, kind of like the room we're in now,
Yeah.
right? Very small.
You gotta start
a
somewhere.
desk, and I didn't need much. It was just me and 6 pieces of paper. So I joined the Home Builders Association, and she announced me, and she goes, this is Carl from A Plus Electric. And I just want to let you know he started off in his closet, and now he's out. And I stood up and I said, I guess I'm out of the closet.
Yeah.
And the whole place is pretty funny. So
That's
she was an amazing lady and was there at the beginning and has
Okay.
since passed. But she was there at the beginning.
What were the early days like?
Early days were a lot of knocking on doors. I mean, I had no customers. I just people would ask for things, and I would do just about anything. So if you needed a back rub or you needed a light fixture installed, I was in the service industry. I wasn't necessarily an electrical contractor.
No.
I was a person that would do anything, and you just had to ask. And then I'd find other people that would help me out.
Yeah.
And so one of my first employees helped me dig a trench. I was a one-man band. I needed to go from point A to point B. This kid needed a hand, and he helped me dig the trench, and he's been with me for 19 years.
Oh, that's
So I
incredible.
did my
that's
first
cool.
year by myself, and then he was with me, and he had a plethora of skills, and we've kind of grown together, and it's
Nice.
been an awesome journey. And his name is Joel, and very fortunate to have him, and it's been a lot of fun doing this with him.
How did your construction background maybe help you out when you got started on your own?
Well, mainly my background was in college, so
Okay.
that really helped out.
Yeah.
So the construction part I learned. The college part, my father was an accountant, and I'd taken marketing and logistics, and so, a lot of it is figured out on the fly. But I kind of understood the framework of the business of invoicing and different accounting things and keeping the books and QuickBooks, and so I'd hired an accountant, and I had Anne Swain helping me file, and I ended up with one employee, and I probably rode like that for 2 to 3 years because it's much easier to stay at that size than it is to grow.
Sure.
And so, with growth, I had to bring on others, but that gets complicated in its own right from just keeping the books and hiring people and insurances. And,
Did you make a conscious decision like, okay, I'm going to take it to the next level, I'm going to build an empire, or did it just
No,
happen?
it just happened.
Okay.
What typically happens in this industry, unless you're a very focused person, you get the job, you have the need, and then you get the employee. And I tell that to a lot of young people that come to my door and they say, I want to work for you. And I said, what you have to do is you have to be persistent, stop in, say hi, and you have to be there when I need you.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm only as good as my next job. So if I get the new Consumers Energy building, I'm going to need a lot of guys.
Yep.
And if I don't need anybody. And so it was just I needed people, and the right people walk through the door, and I try my best to keep them busy forever. And then you need more people, and we try not to lay off. And we haven't really laid off in 20 years. I mean, we've had moments of times where there's a week or two of no work, but I'll say 20 years of no layoffs in the construction industry is not bad.
Is it a challenge for, like you mentioned, like if we get this big job, knowing that you're going to have to,
Yeah.
increase staff? Is that a challenge, kind of the ebbs and flows?
It is, especially for a non-union contractor, which we
Okay.
are.
Yeah.
So we're a non-union contractor, and we hire and have to let go people based on our workload.
Okay.
So yeah, that management of quantity of work and quantity of people is very difficult. The union has its own set of pros and cons, but for us, we're a small group of people that work together every day, and we know what we're doing, and we know who we're with, and it doesn't really change much. We just have to find enough work.
Is it annoying for you when you're at friends' houses and they have like a electrical issue they want you to take a look at?
I close my eyes. I don't like working for friends. That's the worst.
Isn't it?
It's how relationships end.
Yeah.
So I tell them to call someone else, one of my competitors.
Let's stay friends.
Yes, exactly.
It seems like the industry, especially in our area, it seems like everyone's busy. Is that to be the case?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're busy at times. I mean, everybody likes the medium to a little bit larger size job, brand new. So that right there is a sweet spot. Nobody wants the remodel.
Right.
Nobody wants the small little. We do a lot of that. We do a ton of it. It's hard. It's dirty. It's very unfun and sometimes not as profitable as the other jobs. But we do a lot of the really little, and we do stuff for Jennifer, and it could be a light fixture.
Yeah.
And but it's customer service. It's work, and it's really where we started at.
We're downtown Jackson, filled with old buildings and shoddy electrical work everywhere. You ever get into some of these buildings down here or in maybe some old cities you've worked in and think, oh my God?
Oh yeah, we've done work over in Detroit. We've been up in Lansing. I mean, we've kind of been all over. We did a Wendy's up in Gaylord. So we've seen a lot of different ages and a lot of different stages of work. And yeah, there's definitely some scary stuff out there.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, some of this stuff's worked for 100 to 150 years. There's very few products out there. And that's the problem with electrical. Once I'm done, you don't have to call me for 150 years. It's not a great business model. So I got to work on that a little bit. But a lot of this stuff's been there a really long time. And the people before us, they did a really good job.
Yeah.
The skilled trades in our grandparents and parents' age, they were professionals. And I would like to get back to that.
I was just going to say, how do you approach that now with finding talent?
Finding a young man or woman that can put down their phone and focus on their career and their job and do a very spectacular technical job is a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
We try our best and we interview, but really the proof's in the pudding.
Right.
When you show up,
Yep.
you're either going to focus on yourself or you're not. And, it's a struggle when they are looking at their phones. And so... but the generation before us, they didn't. And I show them. We'll open up a wall that hasn't been open in 100 years, and it is perfectly straight.
Yep.
And it still works, and it's in really good shape. So,
Is there a talent pool that you have found that you pull from more than anywhere else?
More of a referral.
Okay.
We get a lot of people that stop in and do a job application.
Okay.
And that's awesome. Love it. And the ones that are persistent, they usually say, hey, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? You can be annoying, but persistence usually pays off. And then it's really the right person at the right time. And we've had from men electricians to female electricians. One of my favorite and probably best employees, her name was Sherry, and she was a 55-year-old woman. And she would come into these people's homes, and she would befriend them, and she would do anything. And she would sit and have coffee and tea, and she would... communicate with them very clearly and very precisely and do an excellent job. I mean, she would leave my office for a 1-hour service call, come back and say, I'm going to be there for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
And those same people, years later, Mrs. Vermeulen would call in and they would wait a month for her.
Yeah,
because
want her.
we want her. She's very nice. She's very clean. She listens to what I want. She doesn't overtalk me or tell me what I'm going to have.
Yeah.
And, getting to that customer service part is really important in all of our businesses.
What's the secret to your success? Obviously, people has to be one of them. But what would you say over the last 20 years has been really what set you apart from the competition?
Probably being consistent at customer service.
Okay.
So being consistently when the phone rings, and some of our competitors have referred us, and they're also good contractors. They just do a little bit different style of work. And they say, call Carl and A Plus Electric. They'll probably do it. And, 99.9% of the time, if there's money there funding it, we are willing to do it. And it's not always fun or easy. I mean, we've done some interesting ones. And so it's really that, why am I here? I'm here to serve these people. And so that's really my purpose. And so it allows me to stay motivated. I'm not just here for the money or just here for the job or just here for the glory. I know what our purpose is, and it's there to be a service provider for our local industry.
So it's been a choppy 20 years. We've had some highs in the economy, and we've had some all-time lows, actually historic lows back in 2008 through about 2011.
Just after you started.
Right, yeah, as you were growing your business. How did you tread water and eventually thrive coming out of that?
I got lucky because I started at the bottom, and I started at a very tough time, and really all my purchases were my competitors' equipment. They were going out of business.
Yeah.
When Monarch Electric was leaving the area, that was my first couple vans. I mean, they said Monarch Electric on the side of them for probably the first year.
Yeah.
So I feel fortunate that I started at that time. I had very low overhead and they were very low in the game, so I could work pretty cost effective. And it were tough times. I mean, and a lot of the people that work now do not probably either understand it or remember it because, we're seeing maybe a little bit of a downtick right now. And I remember, and so it's pay your bills, make sure your ducks in a row, make sure your building's square.
Yeah.
You don't want to be leveraged with a lot of debt. But the ups and downs is like anything. You just got to prepare for the good times are going to be here, and when they're not, the bad times are probably going to roll around. And
Did you take jobs maybe back then that you would say no to now?
Ish. I'd probably say no to almost too many jobs. So
Really?
I'd say yes to about anything.
Are there a couple jobs that you really wish you said no to?
Oh, there's a million jobs. And there's some that I said yes. I said yes to R.W. Mercer when they did the smart busing for the Detroit bus system.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And it was, to date, hands down, 3 times larger than anything I ever did. It spanned over 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And I probably got lucky because COVID hit right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And during COVID, everybody said, what worked for you?
Well, that's nice.
And I was like, whew.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they probably would have jammed it down my throat, and I don't know if I'd have been able to do it. So a little bit of luck, a lot of hard work. But, yeah, you don't know what's good and bad until you take it.
We are brought to you by Printer Source Plus and Epson Printers. Switch today and visit Printer Source Plus.
Thank you to Leave It to Beavers Auto Detailing. I wouldn't ride in Jennifer's car without them. Thanks to Montel and Leave It to Beavers Auto Detailing.
And that's impressive thinking about having big projects in Detroit. You mentioned going up to Gaylord. I mean, you're this small operation out of Clark Lake, Michigan. What sets you apart from those competitors that didn't get it?
I probably said yes. Probably said yes to whatever they asked. They probably asked for different things and needed different time frames, and it's tough making some of these deadlines and working at night for Wendy's.
Yeah.
Very few people say yes. So I probably just said yes.
Well, I thank you for saying yes every time I call, because it's usually like, I've got
She doesn't give you a choice.
freaking emergency.
You have to say yes.
Yeah, you got to say yes. That's,
Carl's a superhero, and he's got a team of superheroes behind him that just, when you call, you guys are there. And I'm grateful for that, and our community is grateful for that. And I'm just glad you've made it through the ebb and flows and are still kicking
And like
ass.
you said, it is the people. The people that work with me. I don't say work for, but work with me.
Yeah.
Because, they're the face. You see all the guys, you don't see my face. You hear the people on the phone. It's usually not my voice. So I'm very fortunate to have amazing people that work with me, and I couldn't do anything without them.
Have you enjoyed it all 20 years, or have you thought, maybe I want to go try something different?
I don't know what I would do. I mean, this is
Fair.
it's me. It's me and my community. So, I mean, I guess I could do something different. And
You could always go back to Arkansas and
I
take
could
that
go to
logistics
Arkansas
job.
and take a job working for J.B. Hunt, dealing with trucking. I don't know if that's the smartest move with AI coming in.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
still got to get
so-
stuff from point A to point B, though.
Yeah.
It's a cutthroat business.
That transportation is, and they say that some of these semis may be driving themselves because I got into a Waymo probably a month ago, and it took me from point A to point B pretty good. So
How'd you feel about that?
loved every second of it. I rolled the windows down, turned the radio up. I had the
You didn't
time
have
of
any.
my
Did you
life.
really?
You didn't have any.
Of all the bad
apprehension?
decisions I have made, that is not the worst one. So I was just fine. And if that's how I have to go out, then what a great story.
You've got young kids. What are you teaching them about business and hard work, and what do you tell them?
Being responsible, paying attention, putting your phone down, working hard, that there is enjoyment in working hard. You really do feel good, especially in the trades. You work a full day of digging a trench.
Yeah.
It's hard work, but it's just like working out. When you finish at the end of that day, you are tired, but it's a tired that you can go home and go to sleep with. And I want that for my kids. Watching a screen and sending emails is exhausting, and I do it for most of the day.
Yeah.
but you don't sleep good. You don't feel good.
Right.
No.
You do it tomorrow and you feel horrible. So I hope my kids have a more physical world than the digital one they live in now.
Yeah.
And so I encourage things like being outside, getting exercise, working with your hands, putting things together. If we get a toy for Christmas or we buy furniture, my job is to sit there and guide them.
Okay.
They have to put everything together.
I love
there
that.
are some things that they have not put together right, and it did not last. But I don't do a single thing other than help them open the packages and move the equipment.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah,
Makes them resourceful.
Yeah. It's a lot of the podcasters that I've seen over the years, like Jordan Peterson and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll say, don't steal your kid's future.
Sure.
Oh.
Don't do a single thing for them. So it's hard as a parent because we want to do everything and it's quicker and easier.
Yeah.
So one of my goals has been to try to make them do as much as possible.
That's cool.
And I probably should do more, according to my father.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
No.
he says I'm way too nice to him.
Well,
Gosh.
that's what grandparents say.
Yeah.
He says, when I was a kid, he told my son, he goes, when I was a kid, I had a lawn mowing business at 12.
I've seen your parents with the grandkids, and I think they're too soft on them.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
I don't know how they morph like from one place to another so quickly, but they don't miss a single event for any of the grandkids. It's amazing.
We're very fortunate.
Who are some of your mentors that you've looked up to, or maybe people that have helped you out over the years?
You know, there's been a lot of amazing people. One that's not with us anymore was Dick Hasselbeck. He ran Kelly Fuels gas stations, and he was probably one of my first big customers. Yeah. And that man was spectacular. He would do anything. And you run into these community people. Randy Glick is an amazing one. Kirk Mercer. You know, I've been very fortunate to be around some spectacular humans. You know, your father also has been around and has known my dad, and so these are people that I've seen be successful and to be good people and to give back to the community. You know, you can have one of the 3 or 4, but, you know, very few people do it all. And so I just had a plethora of people, and Jennifer and probably yourself, but Jennifer has been a huge inspiration on what can be done. She has taken something and she has grown and she's worked hard. And I said the other day, she's one of the few people that I look at and I'm just like, wow, I am so impressed.
Well, I owe you that $100 now since
Yeah,
you
at
said
least
that on
100.
the air.
I'll
It's
take
now
it.
out there for history.
I will take it.
You mentioned all these people. What's kind of unique about Jackson is all of those people, they're not just out for themselves.
Right.
They all
Yeah.
work together. And I think, you know, when you mentioned Dick Hasselbeck, he's helped my family out so much, and I feel the same way about Dick. But people in Jackson, they want to see other people succeed.
Yeah.
There is a lot of that, and so it's been a great place to grow up. It's been an amazing place to raise our kids. It's had its challenges and seems to struggle at times. I hope it grows and thrives a little more than it has been.
Yeah.
But you know, I travel quite a bit, and when I do come back from traveling, I can tell you when I come into Jackson, it feels amazing to maybe hit one street light.
Sure, yeah.
and see a few businesses that I know, because you go to these other communities. We're in LA, and there was 6 lanes on each side. And you want to talk about feeling alone surrounded by people.
And how many times are you greeted with a smile when you're out there?
Yeah.
I mean,
When we're in New York City, it was, my kids and I were in December in New York City to see Christmassy stuff. And there were so many people, and you would touch every one of them and bump them.
Yep.
But you didn't talk to anybody.
No.
You weren't friends. I'd ask people, hey, what's going on over this other street? They've never even been to that other street.
Yeah.
It is a very be around people lonely feeling.
Sure.
And a little bit of the world is heading there. So finding community and finding great people to be around, and that a tribe is what everyone's looking for.
Let's talk about Jackson just real quick. You know, you've traveled all over. We don't have a big lake. We don't have an ocean. We don't have a in-state college. We don't have one of those type of major assets that draws people. What would you add to Jackson County if you could, from your travels that you've seen? It's easy to say.
Community spaces. I'm seeing a lot of sauna clubs and pickleball clubs and a lot of places where people will go. And I know we have the Y that just remodeled. It's just some of those places I live over by Clark Lake. It's just hard making it that distance into that place to then come. So more and more community spaces to have the kids go, to run into people that, you know,
Throughout
I
the
don't
county.
run into Jennifer ever. I'll see Jennifer when she calls, but I don't run into her
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
And so it'd be great
Crisscrossing.
to run into people more and to be
Yeah.
places where they're at and maybe have them, spread throughout the community.
Sure.
So
Let's talk a little bit about family life work balance, because we've talked about the kids, we've talked about travel and about your business. You and your wife are both entrepreneurs. What do you do consciously to try to keep that work life balance in place, or is there such a thing?
there isn't.
I know.
I mean, it's all on fire. I've hit the stage of life where my kids are 10, 12, 16. And so they got so much going on. And they're not driving yet. So I'm an Uber driver on top of all these other things, which I love because I have friends and family members that have aged out of this stage. And I don't want to say it looks boring, but it looks a little boring.
Yeah.
I mean, the stage that I'm at, and I think the two of you are in a very similar stage, is like drinking out of a fire hydrant. But God, is it wild.
Yeah.
Because you never know. I mean, I look at my calendar and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But that enjoyment is what life really is.
Yeah.
I mean, having free time and sitting on the couch and doing nothing, it's nice every once in a while, but it's way more fun being at games and seeing family members and friends. And that's the community part of life that, I see other people not having.
Yeah.
And they don't have it when their kids aren't in that little stage. And I'll probably lose it when my kids are gone. And what am I really going to do? Show up to my job, go home?
Oh, you'll figure it out. You've got ants in your pants. So
That's-
always
yeah,
figure it
yeah.
out.
I
There's no
find
sitting
something.
around for
I assume
Carl.
your parents missed it so much. Like my parents too. They are at everything
yeah.
at the grandkids.
Yeah.
Because you realize how much you do miss that stuff. Like going to a youth football game on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's where would you rather be, right?
Exactly. So that I feel like I'm in the sweet spot of life. As I listen to different people talk about longevity and all that, and they're like, "Hey, you better plan to live to be 100." I was like, "Whew, I've knocked on 50. What's my next 50 gonna look like?" But I hope it's surrounded by people and friends and kids and that balance.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning it was all work.
Yeah.
And as I've aged, I've now got kids. I got a wife. It's not all work. So I have to rely on the people that are around me, the people that I work with, the people that go out and do these events. And so, like I said, I'm very fortunate to have great people. I feel like I got a pretty good wife and a couple of good kids and amazing people that I get to work next to. And so my life is very full in what I need. If I do make it another 50 years, I would say right now it's an amazing time to be alive.
That's cool.
Yeah. Are any of the kids showing a propensity for the business?
I mean, my son, he says that he wants to do it until I have him dig a trench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
This
out. So
sucks.
I don't know that I want him to take it over. I see a lot
Sure.
of second and third generation people who take over businesses that are just there to make the money.
Sure.
It's not their passion.
Right.
This is my passion. I created this from nothing.
Yeah.
So I can tell you all about it. It's my passion. It's my life. It's who I am. I'll probably do it until I die. I want them to have that.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
want them to
ask.
find their nests, whatever it is. So if they're into podcasting or digging trenches or whatever it is, go for it. Be a great garbage man. That's awesome.
So I was going to ask, how long do you want to do it for? You have no.
I'll probably always do this because it's who I am. That's usually when someone starts a business, unless you're really smart and can be strategic about it, it's usually who you are.
Yeah.
And then the business morphs around that. And so you watch some of these people, like, why did Al Glick stay at Al Rowe until he died? Because it was him.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
It was
his
his.
blood and his.
Yeah.
And he woke up every morning wanting to go do it. And
Yeah.
I kind of am the same way. I enjoy going to work. I like being around the people. I mean, even if you piled a bunch of money on the desk, I'd probably still get up and go to work to do something.
So you've worked your tail off, and like you said, it's great to be alive at this stage. What's like an indulgence for you? Like, damn it, I've earned it. What's a big indulgence?
Well, probably just taking time. Probably just sneaking away. I bought a sauna this year, and I am a sauna nut.
Oh. Really?
So I listen to a podcast. I hop in my sauna. I am probably religious every day.
Serious?
Serious. It is.
Is that morning or evening?
I probably
Sometimes
do it too
both.
much. I do it both. But that's kind of my time.
Okay.
And that was an expensive purchase, and it could be a little frivolous, but as I've aged and my body has changed, I'm looking at it differently. So I'm now investing into my body more than I used to. And I'll say the sauna has been kicked me off to feeling good and enjoying. It makes you a little bit happier. So before I go to my son's game, I'll try to get a 30-minute sauna in. And I will sit there warm as can be in the middle of January, and it feels amazing.
Okay, I think we need to invest in a JTV
Is it to the point where
studio
people are looking for dad at the house and you check the sauna?
Oh, you check the sauna 100%. Yes, that is where I'm at. It's quiet, it's warm, it's especially this time of year. I follow a couple people that build saunas.
Really?
If I had any thing that I was going to do, I would love to build saunas. Really? They look fun to build. It's like a shed.
Yeah.
And you put some electrical heaters in there and you're up and running. So I'm like, I could do this. Ooh. But I don't know that I'm ready to do this.
That might be a side phase for A Plus Electric, the luxury in-home sauna installation.
So that's my new world.
I love that.
You wanted to ask him something very important.
Oh, well, we're always talking about the moon landing.
Yes.
I want to get your thoughts on that.
Okay, the moon landing. Yes, I think it happened.
Okay.
I would assume it's going to happen again.
That's what I'm interested in.
But what I just heard is China is mining on the backside of the moon.
So they're already there.
They are already there. And what they're mining is a mineral that allows the temperature to drop below whatever we have.
Really?
And that is going to help them with the AI and the supercomputers. So they are moving to the backside of the moon, and there's evidence that there's spaceships going back there. And they, in theory, are mining the backside of the moon for an element that allows them to cool their supercomputers to have more AI.
What just happened?
You didn't expect that.
No, I'm excited that you started talking about that. I have
Yeah.
been getting into not necessarily the moon landing stuff, but other planets and how long it takes to get there. I'm sure you've recently seen the photograph of the ice mountains on Pluto.
Yep.
That the camera took 9 years to get there.
Yep.
And I'm just like, there's so much out there.
Oh, there's so much out there. My bed,
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
So my bed happens to be by the window, and so I can lay and I can see the stars at night. So I'm about 2 feet from the window. When I look up, I can see the stars, and I absolutely love looking up at the stars. That is one of my favorite things to do every night and every morning when I wake up.
It's mind-boggling. You start thinking about what's out there, and then you start following a few things, and you're just like, this is wild.
How insignificant it is.
Yes.
And the things that we argue about, and the things that we get very upset about. And I would say our world right now is a little bit on fire at times, and there seems to be a lot going on. And so it is amazing when you do look at the stars and you think of how long this planet has been here and what it'll look like maybe when we're all gone. And some of the things that we do worry about and stress about probably aren't as important as we think they
Puts
are.
it into pretty good perspective.
You had a boyfriend once who bought you a star, right? Named a star after you.
There is a star with my name on it.
Well, there's a lot of stars out there. So. Well, I'm glad that you were interested in that a little bit too, because it's always nice to find someone else that's interested in that. I try and bring it up to Jennifer once in a while, and she just looks the other way.
Yeah, I'm one of those, and big, huge things like that with so many question marks. I tend to be a little more, their ignorance is bliss. It scares I was scared to death of outer space when I was a kid, and I love stargazing. I actually love how insignificant I feel. Like, geez, nobody really gives a crap what I'm doing. Look at this amazing galaxy. But then you start talking about, our frenemies on the other side of the globe.
China on the backside of the moon.
Yeah, are on the back side of the Earth and the back side of the moon doing Lord knows what for. I mean, nothing good will come of that.
So do you think when this Artemis does the loop around the moon here soon, that they'll find some evidence of that?
I bet you.
You think they're going to see like a China flag on a...
They will see mining operations back there. Think about all the elements and all the stuff that you
imagine?
could go out in outer space and get. I mean, we're fighting over gold, which is some orange stuff in the dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, they are going up and probably getting the real stuff.
Wow.
And
great.
Yeah. So take Elon Musk. He seems to be a pretty smart guy, and everything he says, he seems to be able to do. And he's saying some big things.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, his track record's pretty good.
Have you guys done
Fascinating.
anything with data centers or battery centers or any of those things that are kind of
we
a
do
hot
electrical
button
car
issue?
chargers.
Okay.
Okay.
We've done some house battery and solar. So, yeah, we touch that type stuff. And it's
Okay.
coming. I mean, we do a lot of the electric cars, and, you know, it seems to be a positive. And all the elements that go in the batteries and all the, you know, the different rare earth materials. I mean, it
And rare
seems-
moon material,
and
apparently.
I mean, you find a material that can store energy and put it
Yeah.
into a car
Right.
on the moon. Watch out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we deal with a lot of that type stuff. We haven't done any of the big data centers. I mean, that'll take 2,000 guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear of them over in Ann Arbor and then
Saline
down in
and all,
Saline
yeah.
and stuff like that. And mixed on those, they use a lot of electricity.
Mm-hmm.
They use a lot of water. They use a lot of our resources.
Yeah.
And our electrical bills are going to go up. You can't have somebody like that take that amount of energy and the rest of us not pay for it.
Right.
So I warn everybody, be ready for the energy increase in cost. And all
Yeah.
the reports I read
And
say
it's
the
one of
same
those
things.
things where you have no choice but to pay.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
You have to pay. And
Yeah.
we kind of have to do it. They say it's like a race. If we don't beat China or
Sure.
Russia,
Yeah.
then we will use their system.
Right.
And we probably don't want to do that. So I get why we're doing it. It just, as I look at my utility bills, I'm like, whew, and
Yeah.
this is going up. So it's a wild world. I'm very fascinated by the AI stuff that's coming.
Yeah, it is. Have you got into it in your business
I
at all?
mean, yes, we use it to ask questions, technical questions, and we probably use it on the lowest end. I was
Sure.
around
Yeah.
a couple of my friends that are in the automotive world, and they use it way more and are way more into it. But just all the reports I see and what it's going to do. Thankfully, they are saying it's going to be harder for AI to take electrical jobs. So getting
Yeah.
into the trades, you hear Mike Rowe and you hear a lot of people talk about get into the trades because
Yeah.
the AI is going to take your job. I mean, I agree. If you're an email sender, I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, AI does a
absolutely.
great job of that.
Yeah.
AI struggles and the robots struggle to date to get in and change out electrical service or change out a light fixture. So, you know, I'd say we're a little insulated until they do take over the world. But
I'm anxious to
That's why
see
I'm
what
always
it,
nice to him.
what it does, you know, with people and images and voice. There was a influencer recently that sold the use of his voice and image for almost $1 billion to be able to create basically an AI twin
Yeah.
that's going to be able to, you know, just continue to be a social media influencer and personality without him actually doing that because he's sold his
who he
basically
is.
who he
Right.
is,
Yeah.
his voice, and with the technology, you know, no one's going to even know. So he's chilling at home. Maybe he's doing something else.
I just want to say I hate everything about that.
But it's coming. It's here.
You can't stop it.
It's here.
You can't stop
Yeah.
it. I would agree that it is going to be bad. And everybody seems to say the same thing, that this is not going to be a positive thing for mankind or
Yeah.
the average person. But nobody has ever said that it's slowing down or stopping in any way,
No.
shape, or
Yeah.
form.
No.
And I would say I use it more today than I did last year.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so I am part of the problem.
Yeah.
But if I don't use it and my competitor does,
Right.
and that's what they're saying, that the companies that embrace no employees and all AI, the first person that gets it to work, all the other board and CEOs are going to say, we got to follow, otherwise we're
Absolutely.
out of business.
Right.
And so that's the wild part about this ride. It's going to be a wild ride. The 3 to 5 year time frame is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But we have young kids. So what do you
Yeah.
tell your child to get into? I mean, you can tell them to get into the trades.
Yeah.
It's definitely a great spot, but the trades can't handle everybody. So
No.
it'll be interesting to see where college kids do shift to and
Sure.
what we all do if we
Yeah.
have more free time.
Today's episode is brought to you by Partners Bulk Logistics. Partners Bulk Logistics is the clear choice for your dry bulk trucking needs. Industry-leading service and on-time delivery sets us apart from the competition. Visit getpbl.com.
The Monday Mornings podcast is brought to you by Barker Weber Insurance Agency. Home, business, auto, and commercial. Visit Barker Weber Insurance.
You mentioned middle management early on, like you had a career in middle management. I mean, you think of processing, underwriting, email sending. These are all AI jobs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, scheduling trucks.
Right.
I can't imagine there's too many guys sitting there clicking on a button telling a truck where to go.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have to imagine the AI is able to get in there, route trucks, move it around, do GPS, and do all that type stuff. So I would definitely, if I was in that world, either be out of a job or I don't know, firing somebody because it really is not. I mean, like I said, we're in a very physical industry, the electrical industry. I'm sure Elon Musk will create a robot. I'm sure he'll be able to get close because they're saying that he can. Yeah. But I would imagine there's a little bit of time span before we truly replace that.
Well, I hope as a society in general, we remember that we are all in the people business. You know, we don't want to make ourselves extinct.
I think our
in
generation
general.
believes that
because we've done such a great job of
touche.
Up to date.
Yeah,
right?
touche.
Okay, so they're saying our track record is not that. Our track record is create problems and then complain about them and maybe deal with them.
Yeah. This is heavier than I planned to go with you, Carl. Okay. Do you think the Earth is flat?
Oh, no, it's round.
Yeah, no.
See, with my time in the sauna, I get to listen to a lot of different things.
The Earth is not flat.
Was there more than one shooter in that grassy knoll in Dallas, Texas?
No, I have visited that site, and it's possible. So
you think it's possible?
No, I don't know. I'm strictly into the solar system at this point.
Oh, you're not going into any of the other rabbit holes? What's
No,
your
I
favorite
don't
rabbit
need to.
hole, Carl?
I like the solar system.
Yeah.
I like all the health people. I love these health podcasts. They are spectacular. If any of them are accurate, wow.
What do you think about that guy that he's trying to be the longest person?
Brian Johnson.
Yes.
He's
What do
trying
you
to be
think
what?
about him? Now he's selling some product.
I love it.
It's wild.
It is wild.
I can't remember how old he is, but he's everything is anti-aging, health, longevity.
Yeah.
And he has like a team of scientists in his basement that is working to make him live as long as possible.
The funny thing, I did see a meme just recently, and they said that they had a picture of him, and he spends $2 million a year on his health protocol.
Oh,
Yes.
jeez.
And they said he potentially is going to live as long as the sheep herder that walks up and down the hill every day and drinks real organic goat milk.
Goat milk, So, well, you know my brother Travis.
Yes.
You know, he is hell bent on living to be as old as possible. I feel like when my time comes,
I don't need to be as old as possible because sometimes making it a long time and watching everybody you know pass away or struggle may not be the game. But by golly, I'd like for my last few days to be as strong as I am today.
Right.
So if you give me that run, I don't need probably 150 years. I would just like the time on this planet to be spectacular.
Well, the one thing, though, because I try not to go down the doom and gloom too much, and I do feel like we're in our 40s and 50s, which I can't even believe, but I feel like our 40s and 50s now is different than when our parents or our grandparents were 40 or 50.
Yeah. It's probably the knowledge and just some of the technology stuffs, and you know that everybody's saying work out, eat healthy. I mean, you're right. I actually had a chance to meet Gary Brecka, and he's a longevity guy, and he's probably 4 or 5 years older than me, but he was in amazing shape. His eyes and his personality were alive, and once I met him, probably one of the few people I would say that when I walked away, I thought, man, I got to step my game up. Because he really brought an energy level and a aliveness to the interaction that we had. And so things like that, you know, when you meet people that are on fire, and he was and is, it's really cool. And I follow some of his protocols. I do the sauna. I do the ice bath. I do salts. I mean, I do a lot of different things that he does, and it's helped me feel better. Yeah. And feeling better allows you to be better. And I hope the people around me, I encourage them to do as much as they can. And so sometimes in my office, I'm a little bit of a Debbie Downer of the cupcakes and stuff like that.
Sure.
Not that we don't have them, but I'm not the most positive guy with that type of stuff.
Well, now you're the Gary Brecka for us. We're going to leave here and want to be better and do better.
That. Yeah.
We've got to step up our game.
We do.
Match Carl's energy.
Through
That's right.
Aon, AION, he has an executive weighted vest, and it's a weighted vest that I wear like most of the time.
I was going to say,
it's like 15 pounds, and I've been wearing that a lot lately.
I'm gonna have you send me your protocols.
Oh man, watch out! It's not fun.
I don't care. I need it.
We'll put a link in the comments to
all the protocols.
Absolutely.
Carl's protocols. Sauna's number one though, for sure. I need to get that.
Yeah, I want to get a sauna.
I'm surprised you don't have a sauna.
I'm kind of surprised, too, of all the things that I buy and let sit, that that's not one of them.
Yeah.
The first one that I had bought, I was driving to a job site, and I happened to scroll through Marketplace, and it was a mile down the road, and it looked like a phone booth, which I call a coffin.
Sure.
And so you could touch with your elbows, and it only got up to 140 degrees, and it was okay. And then I just got a Sun Home sauna, and that thing gets to 170 degrees in like 4 or 5 minutes, and it is spectacular.
And you can sit in there for 30 minutes?
I can make it 30 minutes. It is all out brutal. I make my son get in there.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase that. I don't make him. I encourage him. Yes. Because what they're saying is all the endorphins and all the chemical releases. Yeah. So he's had a sore throat the last couple of days. So I'll have him get in with me, and he'll break a sweat. Yeah. And kids do a great job of knowing when they're too hot. Sure. And he is then out. But every time we've done it and he takes a shower afterwards, every single time he's told me that was amazing.
Yeah. I can tell
Getting in, he fought me. Right. But getting out, he thought it was amazing.
Nice.
I can tell you love life. One question that we ask every guest is what is one thing, maybe two things that get you up and out of bed on Monday mornings?
Well, one of the biggest things is probably my kids and my wife. I have changed the way that I look at my life. I used to look at them as a burden, that I have to do this and I have to do that. And I heard a podcaster talk. He's like, why are you going through life? If you don't want to do it, leave. And I thought, I don't really want to leave. Yeah. So I've changed the way I look at it, that I'm very fortunate to be able to do this. And when they ask things of me and require things of me, I've now a gift. And so that's been a real big shift, and it's been more purpose-driven than responsibility-driven. Because they say that if you have purpose, it never ends. You know, responsibilities, you can accomplish goals and you can finish this. The goal isn't to finish anything. It's to continue to drive, get stronger, get better, get, smarter, faster, all these things and never end. And so that's kind of been my biggest takeaway of changing the way my brain looks at going and getting a glass of water for somebody as exercise and a privilege to do it instead of what a pain in the rear end.
Yeah, that's a top-notch answer.
It was a top-notch answer. I'm proud of you, Carl. I'm proud of you. I've always been proud of you. You've always been a dynamic personality and somebody that's great to be around. But watching you take that energy and put it into things that are changing people's lives. I know you're a great employer. He has the best team ever. I mean, they're yes people, but they're yes people, and yes, I'll get it done. So many people say yes and then don't follow through. His team says yes, gets it done, and has made my job easier. But I'm just watching you evolve as a parent and a spouse and a business owner and a community member. I admire the heck out of you, and I'm so glad that we get to share a little bit of your story today.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, it was fun. And I'm really excited to get those protocols from you.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Come on, inquiring minds want to know all the secrets.
So what's all right, so finally, before we let you go, health and diet is important to you. What's one thing you can't say no to food-wise?
Ooh, I'm probably a pizza guy.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm a pizza guy. Yeah. And it is the different, and I will pound that whole pizza.
Same.
It is. I can't even be around
Can't
it.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I'm not. There are addictions out there, and I fortunately don't have too many of them. But
just pizza?
Man, food and pizza are definitely my addiction. I'm just talking about it is spectacular.
I know.
It makes me give me chills.
I love it.
Well, you've gained a lot of perspective and strength being able to do all those things in proportion and get healthy and strong for your kids and everything. We're really proud of you. Now we got to do better.
Yeah, we do. It's awesome. It was awesome having you today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks to Southern Michigan Bank and Trust, all of our sponsors here on the Monday Mornings podcast. We want to thank our guest, Carl Evanson, for making us better and giving us some thought today. So
there we go.
I like that.
It makes me think A+ Electric is the perfect name for your business because you're an A+ human.
First in the phone book.
Yeah.
Love it. I was going to say, is that why?
Yeah, it was strategic.
I love it.
I didn't get any other A+ in my life.
Thanks, Carl.
Yes, thank you very much.